What's up, everybody? This is your boy AC, and welcome back to a special breaking news live react uh live stream of LA Sports Live. Now, you guys see the thumbnail, you see the title. Look, you guys know that this is primarily oh crap. This is a channel dedicated to sports, primarily LA sports, but we talk about other stuff around, revolving around sports and I talk about not just the Lakers and LA teams, but I talk about everything. And it's last year I started um covering other events that were happening going on in the world. Like, we talked about the C-19, we talked about the election just a tiny bit, and we also talked about, like, you guys remember last year when Chadwick Boseman passed away, and 2020 was just a crazy ass year. And I decided, look, we gonna I'm going to start talking about stuff of historical value, so I could just to document it or whatever, so in the years to come when I get old, I can go back and look at stuff and whatever. So if you guys don't like it, you can get off. That's cool. My feelings won't be hurt. But this George Floyd, and actually it's the murder trial of George Floyd, but actually is Derek Chauvin who's on trial. The verdict is going to be read today at 1:30 Pacific time. Um, since I'm at home, I just decided, I said, hey man, this would be kind of cool to do a live react to it. Um, just like I said, just to document stuff. I'm not going to get on here and talk about how I feel about the situation personally. Yeah, maybe I might a little bit. But anyway, but I think it has some historical value, and it definitely will have some historical value in years to come. So, that's why I'm doing it. And like I said, hey, I know you guys don't listen to me to listen to sports. So that's cool. So if if you're not interested or it's not your lane, cool. Sorry, I had to make myself a drink, get a little bit tooted up, and so I could do this. So they're saying that the verdict will be announced at, like I said, 1:30 Pacific time. So that's about 7 minutes. So right now I'm just kind of like peeping out the news, see what they're talking about. Um, I watch all kind of news, guys. I'm not really biased one way or the other, but right now I just happen to turn to CNN. Um, uh, just about some of the things that's going on. Um, they started deliberations yesterday, so this verdict came in less than 10 hours. So at this point, you really, until the verdicts are announced, you really don't know what way it's going to go, one way or the other. Um, but I'm going to just speculate a little bit that um, 10 hours, they deliberated a little bit less than 10 hours, and so there's no way, in my opinion, and with my experience that I've been on three juries, that there's no way there's just a hung jury. So they do have a verdict one way or the other. Um, I've been following this case, but not following it. But I do know that he has three charges against him. I think manslaughter, second degree, and third degree murder. They didn't charge him with first degree murder because if you know anything about how the system works, um, in order, and it varies from state to state, but in order to convict somebody of first degree murder, you have to prove that they have intent. So I don't know that they could prove that the officer Chauvin I don't see how they could prove that he intended to go out and kill George Floyd that day. So that's why more than likely he wasn't charged with that. But anyhow, they got the other charges. And my understanding now is that he could be convicted on all three: the manslaughter, the second degree, and the third degree. So I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to convict him of all three, one of the three, two of the three? I'm not for sure how that works. Like I said, if you all are kind of familiar with the law, and then you guys who know me personally, you know what kind of work I do. You know it varies from state to state. So and so like in this case, you would probably have to, you would, and I did this over a year ago, but anyway, well, not a year ago, but whenever this happened, I looked it up. But you have to look at the laws in that specific area, in Minneapolis, and I looked it up, and I saw, what it would take to charge somebody with first degree murder, and I said I knew right off the bat, there's no way they're going to charge, and there's no way they can prove uh, first degree murder here. But all the other charges, they were pretty reasonable, and that's why the officer Chauvin was charged with these three counts, that he was charged with. So it's going to be interesting to see um, what the jury decides to do here. Um, I would speculate. Well, definitely they have. I would speculate that they definitely have a conviction, just because the amount of time it took. I've been on a jury where it was a hung jury before, so I know for a fact that when we had a hung jury and it was 11-1, when you have that situation, things kind of drag on. They seem to drag on for much longer than what they should, because you got the 11 people trying to trying to convince that one, or trying to sway that one to however they're thinking. Uh, with this jury only deliberating a little less than 10 hours, I don't see where there was a lot of back and forth going on. Uh, it was pretty much probably they were going over the instructions and what it would take to convict on each count, and then they were just going to decide whether they were going to convict, what they were going to convict on. Like I said, for me personally, I think with with the amount of time that they took to deliberate, and given the fact that they didn't ask any questions, you know, at least this is what they said on the news. They said this jury did not ask for any other, they didn't ask any questions. They didn't ask to see certain pieces of evidence, which juries do. If there's something in question about certain testimony or certain evidence in the case, the jury can ask, right? The jury can ask, hey, we want to hear the testimony again of so and so, or we want to review this piece of evidence. I'm looking for some. You guys not chatting? All right, that's cool. Or they might say, look, we want to review the testimony of a certain person, or we want to review this certain evidence. But that didn't happen in this case. Like I said, they took a little bit less than 10 hours to come to their verdict, and that's that. So that leads me to believe that for the most part, they pretty much had an idea of how they were thinking, or at least how they were leaning, from the jump. So I think that's so. Like I said, it just remains to be seen exactly what they're going to convict and what they're not going to convict on. Hold on a second, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Um, Let me check the check. No, man, they haven't announced the verdict yet. The verdict will come in at 1:30 Pacific time, so that's right about now. They'll probably be a little bit late. Probably won't be exactly at 1:30. But anyway, like I was saying, I personally think they'll come back with some type of conviction because just how fast they came back with the announcing that they have a verdict. Like I said earlier, I've been on jury duty 3 times, and two of them was murder cases. So, um, and on the first one, it did end up being a hung jury, and that's why. And we ended up being there a couple weeks when, to me, it was a pretty much open and shut case. But the thing is, if you have one person or you have a lone wolf holding out, that can kind of drag things along. But like I said, in this case, it was the exact opposite. They came back with a very quick verdict. So that just leads me to believe, man, that they have a conviction. So now we are ready. Let's see, a couple minutes past the time. I already knew that. I knew I shouldn't have started this until at least 1:30 because I knew they weren't going to come in on time. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So we're just waiting to see what the verdict is going to be. Um, from the outside looking in, me personally, everybody has their own opinion what they saw on the video. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen today, but this is just my opinion, guys. The really sad thing about it is, my personal opinion. Had there not been any videos of what happened in this situation, we would not be here today. And that's the thing. What I believe have a lot of people pissed off, mad, and why this uh, a lot of people are concerned and or wanting to see what this verdict is going to be. Let me just hold it. Let me see. Okay, they ain't ready to announce it just yet. They are interviewing George Floyd's girlfriend on TV right now, but I thought they were listening for the verdict. But anyway, they were saying that um, several of the Floyd family members will be in court to see and hear this verdict themselves. Um, you guys know that the Floyd family got a very, very lucrative settlement, and I believe from the state of Minneapolis. I'm not for sure the dollar amount, but I believe it was in the 20, 22, 23, $25 million range um, from the state of Minneapolis. And also, the official George Floyd GoFundMe page is officially the largest uh, crowd fund. It's the largest crowdfund or largest GoFundMe in the platform's history, to the tune of almost about the same amount of money. I know, I'm almost certain. I can't remember. You guys can go look it up, Google or whatever. That GoFundMe itself got uh 10 digits. What I mean, and when I say 10 digits, I mean at least $10 million. So the financial compensations, have been made. Uh, Big George Floyd's children uh should be taken care of, for the rest of their lives. They'll never have to work again. I don't know how the family's gonna divvy that up or whatever, but the kids, they should be taken care of, and their kids should be taken care of. Hell, once this that money has been distributed. But right now, like everybody else, you guys, I'm just sitting here waiting for the verdict. And you know, the thing about it is, we really don't know what's going to happen one way or the other. From the little bit I did watch of some of the testimony, the defense was talking all this crazy stuff. I mean, anyway, about the carbon monoxide, and he may have the exhaust from the police cruiser may. I mean, that's just, you know, who knows? Who knows? But to me, that notion is just ridiculous. But in something like this, only God knows. But at this point, you just have to pretty much, you know, kind of go like with your best guess, or what, or whatever kind of, you go with your best guess, or your common sense based on the testimony and stuff like that, man. And I don't think, from what I heard, if I was a juror, I don't think I would go for the carbon monoxide deal. I don't think I would go with the drugs deal. I don't think I would go with the heart problems deal. Um, Big George didn't look like he was any stress or duress until he came in contact with those police. And then, we're not going to get into this resist, don't resist, and all that kind of stuff. Man, everybody already knows how that works. Everybody knows how that works. I don't think that's the point. The point is, no, everybody knows you shouldn't resist. But I don't think personally that does not give law enforcement a free pass to kill people. That's just my opinion. Right. Right. Thanks, brother Crespo. Yeah. Um, yeah, the family in this case, things were done right, and the George Floyd family were taken care of. And I'm telling you, man, I really do think it was because of the video. If that video had not been there, bro, and I'm not shitting on law enforcement, because, like I said, if people know who kind of work I do, I'm not shitting on law enforcement. But I'm telling you, if there was no video, them reports, those police reports, all that kind of stuff, those incident reports, the use of force reports, they would have been pistol whipped. You know what I'm saying? Those reports would have been pistol whipped to totally absolve the officers of all wrongdoing. That is a guarantee. That is a damn guarantee. That would it's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it goes. This is the way this look. This is the way those guys are training. And I'm not, and like I said, I'm not shitting on law enforcement, but I'm just telling you that's the way they're trained. They are trained to save their own ass after the fact. Meaning, if they get into something, if they have to have some type of use of force or whatever, they are trained to save their own ass, and they are trained to save each other's ass. If you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna say it any more plainer than that. I'm just telling you because I've received the same training. That this is what they're trained to do. After the fact, after all the dust is settled, their number one goal, their number one focus is self-preservation, meaning they want to save their own ass and they don't want to go to jail, and they want to go home to their families. And on a certain level, I don't know if you can blame them for that, but at the same time, just because you're a peace officer, you're a sworn officer, you're allowed to, this is your job to police people. It just does not, man, give you the right, excuse me, to indiscriminately go out and kill people. And I think this is going to send a bigger message, you know, um, to other law enforcement officers who may not always be doing the right thing, who might be kind of, kind of tiptoeing on doing what you can get away with, rather than what you're supposed to be do. You know, if this verdict comes down a certain way, it might make some of them think twice about doing certain things that they do. And we're not gonna go. Uh, we're not gonna go that deep into it, but the qualified immunity and all that kind of stuff, man, that needs to be looked at. That needs to be looked at. They need to give that a second look and third look and fourth look, because until they, tackle that situation, until they take a strong look at that situation with the qualified immunity, um, people are going to do what they're going to do. I'm gonna just tell you what. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. Not all cops, but people in law enforcement, not all of them, but a lot of them, most of them, they do what they think they can get away with, and or they do what they feel they need to do to make it through the day and go home and see their family. And like I said, to a certain extent, you can't blame them for that. But again, you can't just indiscriminately just go out and kill people. And like I said, man, look, shit, I'm just talking because we waiting. They need to hurry up because I can't be on here all day. Kind of like what happened with the Philando Castillo case, where he was killed. He was concealed carrying, and he told the officer that he was concealed carrying. And then, and what I believe from what I saw in that video is the cop got a little bit antsy and shot him. It is, but it's not like Philando pulled the gun on him or whatever, and nothing like that. The cop got a little bit antsy. Okay, it was most likely a mistake. But when I make mistakes on my job, I have to pay for it. You make mistakes on your job, you have to pay for it. Those cops in that case, I believe it went to trial, but I don't think they were made to pay for it. And to me personally, I think that is bullshit. Right. Yeah, life is important. And you know, not every case is it's a gray area in every case. Not every video is clearly police in the wrong. Not every video is clearly suspects in the wrong. But the thing about it is, when the police are clearly in the wrong, those motherfuckers need to pay for it. That's my point, and I think that's the point. What that has a lot of people upset and a lot of people concerned about it is, when people are out there, people out in the streets, they ain't always doing the right thing. We know that, but the thing about it is that does not give the right for cops to indiscriminately go out and kill people. I mean, just me personally, my personal experience with the police, I've had a lot of interaction. Not so much now, um, but I still have it occasionally now. But growing up, I had a lot of interaction with police, and it was not always pretty. It was not always positive. But I ain't gonna go into telling people what to do. But I'm just saying it is what it is. It ain't always right, and it ain't always pretty. And you know, situations could have went differently than what they did. Because I had a lot of interactions. Not that I was out there, uh, breaking a lot. You know, I might have been breaking a little minor baby ass laws and shit. Wasn't out there robbing and killing for damn sure. Most of the times when I had my interactions that I had with police was just a lot of times I was in the wrong place and wrong time, and I was getting pulled over with family and friends because I was black. I'm firmly convinced of that. But But I wasn't out there committing major crimes. But they could have went the other way. You know what I'm saying? They definitely could have went the other way, other than me being able to drive away or ride away, in one piece, or walk away in other cases in one piece. But they could have went the other way, and I'm thankful they didn't. But I'm just saying, man, that people are mad, they're upset, and you know they they want to feel like their lives matter, and that police just don't have supreme power over everybody. You know, they want to feel like if police do wrong, they're going to be held accountable. And if that happens in this case, you know, that'll allow some people to sleep a little bit better tonight. But if the result of this verdict is that people feel that this officer was not held accountable, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I don't think it was gonna be good. I don't think it's gonna be good. That's just my personal opinion. If the verdict comes back not guilty, I don't think it's gonna be a good reaction. But anyway, the 12 jurors in this case, they kind of have a tough job, because they know the world is watching, man. You know, people forget. Well, I don't know if y'all forget, but when this happened last year, man, the whole world was watching. The whole world was watching. Not just America, not just the United States. Man, people people was marching and protest. I remember specifically, people was marching and protesting in the UK. People were marching and protesting in Germany. You know, people were marching and protesting in France and other places. They was upset, as a result of what they saw on these videos. So, um, yeah, there's a lot riding. There's a lot riding on this, bro. There's a lot riding on this case. There's a lot riding on this case, and I don't envy these. Man, my battery's gonna die. Damn. I don't envy these 12 jurors, because if they come out with an unpopular verdict, uh, they need to get ghost, because unfortunately, there's going to be some, anyway, you guys know what I'm trying to say. So I'm just saying, a lot of people are going to be paying attention to this. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to this, and a lot of people are going to feel like they have a vested interest in this. And the interesting thing about this, if we want to go back to the Rodney King trial, there was a video. Even, and how many, that was over 20 years ago, right? That was over 20 years ago. There was a video in that case, just like there's a video in this case. And, I think that situation turned out differently than what this situation is going to turn out in. So that's why there still is a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people are like, hey, man, I don't know what's going to happen, conviction or acquittal. There's a lot of uncertainty, because people have seen in other cases where they feel, hey, man, things were cut and dry, and still things didn't go the way people thought that they were going to go. Yeah, you're right, bro. The internet makes the internet the internet makes things international, and the internet makes things instant, like that. I mean, when something happens in, let's say I'm in LA, so if something significant happens in Hollywood, for example, or if a significant event happens in Hollywood, like right now, if it's significant enough, thanks to the internet, thanks to smartphones, thanks to technology, the shit the shit can be on the other side of the planet within seconds. Within seconds. And that could either be good or bad. That could be either good or bad, depending on the situation. The fact that people have the access to information, the access to technology, the access to news instantaneously, we've seen firsthand that the results of that can be good or bad. So let me see. Let me see what they're talking about. They're still waiting. God damn, it's almost been 30 minutes. And I ain't never had to I ain't never had to freelance and talk about something that long, man. If they don't announce it by 2 o'clock, I might have to leave and come back. Cause I can't sit here and talk forever. But anyway, um, yeah, like I was saying, the Rodney King trial, and see that was one example, one of the first examples how things didn't go the way a lot of people thought they were going to go. And then was damn, what was the case down in Florida? Oh, the Trayvon Martin case. Um, some people, not all people, but some people felt that that was an open and shut case, you know, and that case did not go the way a lot of people thought it should have gone. So I think that's why there's a lot of uncertainty about this, man. So man, they need to go ahead and announce this shit like soon. Uh, but it's gonna be interesting either way. I'm not gonna you know I'm not gonna act one way or the other no matter what happens. I remember exactly. I remember exactly, for example, where I was when the OJ trial was announced. Um, I remember I came home from work. I was at my parents' house, and I I came home and we all sat around the TV and the couch and announced the verdict. And then when OJ came back not guilty, my react was pretty much a non-reaction. It was just kind of like, hmm, you know, excuse me. That was interesting. That was kind of my react. But of course, as you guys know, a lot of people were happy. You know what I'm saying? A lot, a lot of black people were happy, and I don't think it was because they don't think. I don't think is. I really don't think it really had anything to do about their opinion on whether they thought OJ killed those people or not. I think they were happy because our brother got off. Our brother was, if they felt that he was guilty and then he got off, they felt like, they were happy because he got off. Our brother was able to get paid, pay, you know, finally, a brother was in a situation where he had the upper hand, where he had the resources to have the best lawyers and this and that and this and that. And in this case, he had celebrity on his side, but he was able to quote unquote beat the system. I don't think that all those people who were cheering for OJ thought that he was innocent. They were cheering for other reasons. That's my opinion. Not all of them, but the majority of them who were cheering for OJ, they it wasn't so much like that they were cheering that, oh yeah, you didn't kill him. Good. They were just some of them were just kind of like, look, shit, I'm glad you got off. Hell, it's about time brother gets off. Shit, they always framing us for shit that we didn't even do. That's what I think the opinion was mostly, But in this case here, man, um, here's the thing: use of force and controlling somebody and getting a hold of a suspect who doesn't want to comply and who's resistant. That's one thing. But one thing I never heard, and I was interested in hearing from the officer in this case, Chauvin, he decided that he didn't want to testify. But I was like, okay, law enforcement is taught to use whatever force they believe is deemed necessary to take control of the situation. This is what they're taught. I don't give a shit about what they've been saying on TV. They're taught to use whatever force is necessary to, contain the situation. So if that's what you thought, what you did was necessary to control the situation, then what? After the first minute, then what? After the second minute, then what? The third minute, then what? Fourth minute, then what? Fifth minute, then what? What was your plan? What was you planning to do? You got him down. He's no longer resisting. You know you're restricting his air. That's why he's complying because he can't move. He can't breathe. You know that. So, like, what was your plan? What was you thinking? You made no moves to get him up again and to put him in the car. What was the plan? That's the one question I had. I'm like, man, okay, you doing what you think. The guy's much larger than you or whatever. Okay. But what was your plan here? To choke him out till he wasn't breathing no more? To kill him? I mean, what was your fucking plan? That would be my question. That's what also kind of leads me to believe. I don't know. There's no proof of this, but kind of leads me to believe that it was a personal situation. But anyway, that's speculative. I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. But it's just kind of like you got to a situation to where you got control of the situation, and then you just sat there till it ended. And whether you was thinking right or what, you knew eventually that that situation was going to end either one or two ways. Either you was going to get him up and get him in that car and transport his ass for whatever, or he was going to die. You had to have known that. There's no way you couldn't have known. No way you couldn't have known that. That's my opinion from my personal experience. You know the situation is going to end in one way or the other, and in this case, it's either going to be life or death. So, I don't know, man. We got you guys. We got 2 minutes. I got other stuff going on at the house. Um, I can't sit here forever, but uh, you know, they need to stop all this talking and get down to the nitty gritty. But anyway, um, this is interesting. Right now they probably could be waiting because sometimes they when they announce a verdict, they want to give certain people the courtesy of being there. So they will delay and wait for certain people to arrive to court before they announce the verdict. I mean, a lot of times, the lawyers, they're not just sitting around. You know what I'm saying? They're not just sitting around at the court waiting for a verdict. They out there doing their thing. They could be working on other cases. They got lives to live. So sometimes they just have to wait. You know what I'm saying, for other people to show up. So that could be uh they could be waiting for other people to show up. Man, this is crazy. Crazy how this is gonna be. Hey, y'all excuse me for a minute. Let me hit the head real quick. All right, guys, I'm back. We're still waiting for the verdict. Yeah, you're right, brother. OJ, he had a lot of fans, so he may have had a couple people on that jury, man, that did him a solid, and then some of that stuff was shaky. I mean, shit, we 20 years removed from that. My personal opinion is, I don't know if OJ killed him, but shit, he knew something about it. This is what I think. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. I mean, because we know the guy, man. Because we know the guy, and people got personal feelings about it. So it's kind of like, hold on. Yeah, yeah. The OJ is a little bit different, man. He was like a celebrity or whatever. So some people going, it's going to be hard for some people to like, want to. Oh shit, here it comes. Okay, they didn't went live to the courtroom. Hold on, the Hennepin County Judge Peter King. Hold on, guys. They went to the judge. Hold on, guys. Y'all about 30 minutes late. 34 minutes late. Chauvin's sitting at the desk. He's ready to hear his. Oh, they told him to stand. He knows his ass is grass. But we about to find out right now. We about to find out right now. If it gets, I'm gonna do this real quick and then I'm gonna get on, guys. But if it gets crazy later, I'll be back. The jury's entering the courtroom. They let everybody. I understand you have a verdict. Uh, I'm gonna. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this live right here on LA Sports Live, y'all. The judge is getting ready to open the little package there. Members of the jury, I will now read the verdict. Says they will appear in the okay. The judge is going to read the verdict. A little bit different State out there. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, Fourth Judicial District, State of Minnesota Plaintiff. Judge is reading the verdict. Defendant. Verdict count one. Court file number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count one, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th Chauvin guilty, 2021, second-degree murder. Signed juror 4-person, juror Chauvin guilty, second-degree murder. He does not look shocked or surprised. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as count two, third-degree murder. Third-degree murder. Dangerous act. Find the defendant guilty. Guilty. Third-degree murder. April 2021. He does not look shocked. He does not look surprised. So far, guilty on 2 out of 3 counts. Caption, verdict count 3. We the count 3. Entitled matter is to count 3. Second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable second-degree manslaughter. Find the defendant guilty. This verdict guilty to this 20th day of April 2021. So at 1:45 p.m. It looks. Jury 4%. Let him finish first. Members of the jury, I'm now going to ask you individually if we okay. So it looks like a 3 for 3 as far as convictions. True and correct verdicts. Chauvin has been convicted uh, on all three counts. I repeat, Chauvin has been convicted on all three counts. They are now interviewing the jurors individually, like they do in every case. And like I said, he does not look shocked or surprised. I'm pretty sure he was prepared for this. Um, and this is why they tried him separate from the other officers. I'm sure. I'm sure this is why they tried him separate from the other officers because this right here, man, it couldn't be explained away. It couldn't be excused. He had to pay for this, and like you said, my brother, justice is served. Anyhow, guys, guess what? I got stuff going on at the house. This is just something I want to do personally, for for history and all that kind of stuff. Um, Hopefully, we don't see any violence in the streets. We shouldn't see any violence in the streets. But this doesn't bring Big George back. This doesn't bring the hurt and the pain. This doesn't take away any hurt and pain from his family. But in the end, like my man said, justice is served in this case. Anyway, this is your boy, ACLA Sports Live. You guys do me a favor. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. And I got to get out of here, so I'll wrap with y'all later. Blakely, you may file a written argument as to Blakely fact.